Mabry is guarding Segrist. That allows
all the little things.
Haley Jones to the hole. Got it! With the starting lineups, Paige Beckers came out and
better. Their defense has stepped up, and you mentioned Tina Charles.
Zaza. Tough cover for Haley Jones. They showed the double with Berger. Lacan for three.
Do I thank her?
Yeah, showed the double with Geisselsuiter. James pull up 14. Got it. That could have been a wash, and they're going to call a foul. I quit refereeing. I said that. Let's go back to.
She pulled up, created space, and knocked it down. Since I have come back, and I was like, well, it's been physical for a long time.
It's had no field goals until 4:50 of the first quarter. They have 5 in the first 3. 20 make it 6. 60%. Inside Mabry, she is going to be
in 14.5 points a game, 4 rebounds. She does everything.
Lacan is so savvy out there, and she gets the right hand to go.
Yeah, didn't we talk about it? You think bigger than you think.
Count the basket and one. Of Kansas State, playing before 9 family members, including her mom and Jeff Mitty, her coach at K-Star, who was also their best field goal percentage of the year. Lacan ties up Matt, just 21 years of age.
One of the greatest things you could do in basketball, there's never 10 players on one side. Pass the ball to the player at the right time and to step into 5-on-5, and you're absolutely correct. They were ready for this moment because of that experience.
How about that ball? Haley already with 8 points in the ball game. I had a chance to talk to Serena, and she had a season high 15 points versus Golden State. The previous 5 games, she leads the league in steals. Lacan does. Left-handed layup. Aisha Hines-Allen working on Tina Charles. Leans inside. Jason Kidd on the sideline. Dallas Mavericks coach. Maisha.
Including J. Kidd. You know, they love to support women's athletics.
At the line is Tina Charles, number 2 in WNBA history in points, number 1 in rebounds. Sundell goes out. Grace Berger comes back in. At 466 games ago.
It's the players that are young right now. Nice play right there by Berger.
Atlanta says we've had trouble scoring the last couple of games, but the big thing in this last couple of games, Miller has. Little behind the back on top. Maisha launches and got the 3.
You know, you talked about how this team has to come out and continue.
7 or more games. We're up to 106 games missed because of injury. From the outside, Haley Peters can't get the shot to go down. No points.
Their franchise.
This is a young team with a good core, and Dallas again had 28 points in their last 2 They didn't come out with the energy they did during the 3-game win streak. How about Amy Okonkwo's 3rd WNBA? Grace just 1 of 17 from 3.
Both teams really pushing the pace of the basketball. Both teams have been up and down the last 3 possessions at 20-second shot clock, which means they're not dribbling the ball, they're passing the ball up the floor.
And that goes down as a 2. Amy again. Sets the pick and rolls. Maddie had to come over on her. Over Maddie's hand, and Tina Charles. Here is Lacan. Started playing basketball at 4 years of age and goes right down the.
Is that Usain Bolt?
Charles over Haley. J.J. Quinterly out as Mabry comes up with the steal. Should have the easy layup. Missed it, but she is going to be fouled. Not only that, J.J. out and Paige out. You want to know who's running the offense. 2025 premium members, you'll receive a free custom Dallas Wings varsity jacket and formation. And the Wings are going to be stocked next year. This is such a learning experience. And both coaches in this young team.
Well, it's a young team, but I want to say this. But her rookie season was ridiculous. You know, 40 from the field, 40.
Overall, back in 2014 by Seattle. from the outside, nothing but the bottom of the net, and Chris Koklandis will burn a timeout. Marina Mabry knocking down her threes, but they're hot right now. Here is Maddie to step back, got it. As Miller on the right, Maddie inside, beautiful.
Goes to her, she makes the pass to the corner, but the defender stepped away, she finishes at the rim.
Wings back up by 3. They've led by as many as a dozen. Louisa inside, no. Mabry with a rebound. Tina Charles 6 points here in the second, trying to make it 8. No, whistle it.
The stage was set for a night of electrifying basketball as the Connecticut Sun clashed with the Dallas Wings on August 27, 2025. A matchup that promised intensity, drama, and non-stop action from start to finish, and it did not disappoint because from the opening tip the energy in the arena was absolutely electric, with fans on both sides roaring, waving banners, and ready to witness a battle between two of the WNBA's most determined squads, and right away the tone was set that this was going to be more than just a regular season game. It felt like a preview of playoff-level intensity, and every player on the floor understood the stakes and came out swinging with everything they had. The Connecticut Sun wasted no time making their presence felt as their defense immediately clamped down on Dallas, forcing early turnovers and turning them into fast break opportunities, and the speed at which Connecticut pushed the ball up the floor left the Wings scrambling to recover, but Dallas was not going to be intimidated, especially not on their home court, as they answered quickly with crisp ball movement and a big three-pointer that sent the crowd into a frenzy, showing that they were more than ready to trade blows in this heavyweight battle. The opening quarter quickly turned into a showcase of star power, with Connecticut's backcourt driving hard into the paint, creating mismatches and forcing Dallas to collapse defensively, while on the other side the Wings relied heavily on their shooters stretching the floor and knocking down perimeter shots that kept the scoreboard ticking, and it was clear early on that neither team was going to give an inch, and every possession would have to be earned through grit, hustle, and determination. The pace of the game was absolutely relentless, with Connecticut pushing the tempo at every chance and Dallas matching them stride for stride, and the result was a first quarter that felt less like an opening act and more like a high-stakes battle deep in the postseason, as both teams refused to let the other build momentum for long, because every run was quickly answered with another run in response, and that back-and-forth dynamic kept fans on the edge of their seats. The highlight of the first quarter came midway through when Connecticut star forward drove hard to the basket, absorbed contact from two defenders, and still managed to finish with an acrobatic layup that sent the Suns' bench leaping to their feet in celebration, but Dallas responded instantly with a three-point bomb from the corner, silencing the cheers and reigniting the home crowd's roar in what became a microcosm of the entire game. Whenever one side landed a punch, the other side fired right back. As the first quarter wound down, the score remained tight, with neither team able to pull away, and the physicality began to ramp up, with both squads fighting for every rebound, diving on the floor for loose balls, and battling fiercely in the paint, and it was clear that this was going to be a war of endurance as much as it was about skill. The buzzer sounded with the game still hanging in the balance, the crowd buzzing with anticipation for what was still to come, and both teams returning to their huddles with intensity in their eyes, knowing that the opening round had been fought to a near draw and the real war was just beginning. As the second quarter began, the tension inside the arena grew even stronger, because both teams had already thrown their best punches in the opening frame, yet neither had been able to establish clear dominance, and that set the stage for a quarter defined by adjustments, momentum swings, and clutch plays that kept fans in disbelief at how evenly matched these squads were, and right away the Connecticut Sun leaned into their inside game, attacking the paint with relentless drives and post moves, forcing the Dallas Wings to rotate heavily on defense. But that rotation often left shooters open on the perimeter, and the Sun capitalized by knocking down timely three-pointers that momentarily gave them the edge on the scoreboard, and the energy on their bench exploded as they believed momentum was finally tipping their way. But Dallas refused to let the game slip, and their coach urged the team to play with more aggression, especially in transition, where they could utilize their athleticism to punish Connecticut before their defense could get set, and the Wings responded with a furious stretch led by their guards, pushing the pace and delivering precise passes to teammates who finished at the rim with authority, including a thunderous fast break dunk that sent the building into chaos and instantly erased the small cushion Connecticut had built. The battle inside became even more physical during the second quarter, as both teams understood that controlling the glass would be key, and Connecticut's bigs fought tooth and nail for offensive rebounds, giving their team second-chance opportunities, but Dallas matched their intensity with equally ferocious effort as players dove to the hardwood, battled under the rim, and fought for every inch like it was the final possession of the game, and that uncompromising fight turned the quarter into a slugfest where no ball went uncontested. The Sun tried to reassert themselves midway through the period with a series of methodical possessions where their offense worked like a well-oiled machine, swinging the ball from side to side until an open look materialized, and when their sharpshooter buried back-to-back triples, the Connecticut fans in the crowd erupted as their team briefly extended the lead. But Dallas once again responded with fearless confidence as one of their stars drilled a deep three-pointer from well beyond the arc, pointing to the crowd as if to say this was their house and they would not be bullied off their own court. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric and every possession felt like a battle for survival because the lead changed hands multiple times and neither team looked like they were capable of pulling away for good. And as the clock wound down toward halftime, the urgency only grew with players showing visible exhaustion but refusing to let up, digging deeper into their reserves to fight through screens, chase down rebounds, and contest every single shot no matter the cost. The highlight of the second quarter came when Dallas executed a perfect sequence of ball movement, passing the rock through nearly every player on the floor before finding their wing wide open in the corner for a three that splashed through and sent the fans into a deafening roar, but Connecticut immediately answered on the next possession with a crafty spin move in the lane followed by a tough-and-one finish that silenced the arena in an instant and reminded everyone that this was a duel where momentum could shift in the blink of an eye. As the halftime buzzer approached, the game remained razor close with both teams trading buckets in the final minutes, and the scoreboard reflected the neck-and-neck battle with only a handful of points separating them as the players walked off the court drenched in sweat and filled with determination because the first half had been nothing short of a war and everyone in the building knew the second half was going to be even more explosive.